So the Oppo Watch, I mean, just looking at it immediately, you kind of know which design they were following. Obviously, it looks a lot like an Apple Watch, minus maybe the dial at the side. Now, honestly, when Oppo reached out and asked if I want to review this, I didn't have high hopes. I looked at it and immediately I thought, okay, it's just going to look like an Apple Watch. It's not going to be very good. But I was like, you know what? Let's send it over. Let me test it out. And yeah, I have to say, after having it for 3 weeks, I love it. So I'm going to talk about the design a bit later on. For now, let's very quickly go through the specs. So this watch here has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 3100. So this chip is specifically built for wearable devices. Now this chip is a quad-core chip, right? It wasn't too long ago that you will only see quad-core chips on a laptop, okay? It also has one of the most beautiful AMOLED screens I've ever seen on any watch, smartwatch, and it has 1 GB of RAM. So the Oppo Watch uses Google Wear OS, so of course you get all the standard features in most smartwatches, but because it's Google Wear OS, you get things like Google Assistant integrated, which is fantastic. And not only that, you have a microphone and speakers on the phone, so you can actually call up Google Assistant on the Oppo Watch. You can also give commands. And not just that, because it's got a microphone and it's got speakers, I can actually make a phone call and use the watch's mic and the speaker for that phone call. Hello. Now, another great feature I love. Now, I actually have the Fitbit Ionic. I've had it for, I think, almost 2 years now. And it's good, but the only reason I have it is because I got it free because I'm part of a health study in Singapore. And honestly, if I had to pay for it, no, I wouldn't have gotten it because I've always felt that Fitbits are ridiculously overpriced for the features that it provides. Not only that, I also find that Fitbit hardware is always a little underpowered. Not with this. Now, I mentioned that Qualcomm Snapdragon 3100, fantastic chip. It is so smooth. It is one of the best and smoothest experience I've had on any wearable device. Physical features of the phone, you don't get the dial like I mentioned in the Apple Watch. You get 2 buttons. So the one at the top brings up the menu and the bottom one is a customizable button that you can choose whatever command that you want. Now, another feature that I absolutely love is if someone were to send you a photo on, let's say, WhatsApp, all right? Now on my Fitbit, yeah, I'll just get a camera icon with the word photo at the side and then I have to go to my phone to see that photo. Not on the Oppo Watch. And I admit it might not be exclusive to the Oppo Watch, but if you get a picture sent to you on WhatsApp, the phone actually shows the photo as well, and that's absolutely brilliant. Now, one thing to note, the Oppo Watch comes in 2 sizes, all right? There's a 41mm and a 46mm. So the one I'm holding here right now is the 46. Now, I know a lot of traditionalists or purists are gonna say that, watches should not be square, they're supposed to be round. And yeah, you got Samsung, you've got the round clock face, and a few other wearable devices or smartwatches also still use the round face. But I have to say, I'm on the side of the square face. Now, I mean, as a watch, obviously, if it's round, it's fine. But in terms of screen real estate, when you have it as a square face, I think it made so much more sense. The messages that you read, the notifications, you just have so much more on the screen at one time. And speaking of the screen, like I said, it's got a AMOLED screen, which is absolutely brilliant, one of the nicest screens I've seen on any smartwatch. But not just that, all right? It also has a curved screen. Now, do note that the 41mm Oppo Watch is just a flat screen, but the 46mm has a beautiful curve. Now, I'm one of those guys that have never been a fan of curved screens on phones. To me, it aesthetically looks kind of nice, but there are a lot of problems, especially if you're like me and you watch a lot of media on your phone. You get a lot of glare and you lose that edge sometimes. So I'm not a fan, but you don't have that issue with the watch because obviously you don't watch videos on your watch. But so aesthetically it looks brilliant, and when you read notifications it's not a problem. So overall design, I would say excellent. One thing I have to say though, so like the Apple Watch, it follows that same sort of strap, which is more of like a pierced design with a loop. Now, I personally am not a fan of this sort of design. I'm one of the old school guys that prefers the buckle. I think it's a lot safer. With this, I mean, I don't know for sure, but I would imagine that, you know, doing this multiple times after a while, it might stretch and it might not be as secure. So for me, I would definitely go with the buckle design. However, having said that, in terms of comfort, I've got absolutely no complaints. It fits just fine. Oh, another thing I accidentally realized about this screen is that the touchscreen actually works in the rain. So I got caught in the rain a couple of times, and then when I actually touched it, I realized that, you know, it was still registering the touches. So great job. Now, of course, like any smartwatch, you can actually choose the face. And even then, it's got some pseudo Apple designs. But you know what? I've been talking about it being so much like the Apple Watch, but I have to say this stands out on its own on sheer performance. Performance-wise, this hasn't skipped a beat. It's been absolutely fantastic and smooth throughout the entire 3 weeks that I've had it. The experience has been totally enjoyable. So let's talk about the price, alright? So for the Oppo Watch, like I said, there are two different sizes. The 41mm comes in at about 299 Singapore dollars, whereas the 46mm, this one here, comes in at 399 Singapore dollars. Now for me, I didn't have the chance to use the 41mm, but for me, for that, even that $100 more, I would say that this is worth it. It is absolutely fantastic. And when you consider that the new Apple Watch Series 6 is what, double the price, almost double the price, this suddenly looks like a steal. So to me, this was actually going to be like the closest to a perfect smartwatch. And I was so happy with everything except one thing, alright? Now, it has checked all the boxes except for battery life. Now, it comes with a 430 milliamp battery, which is good by smartwatch standards, but you get about a day and a half of use, and that's really short. Now, the thing is, even the Apple Watches and some other smartwatches also get very similar battery life, but that doesn't mean that it's okay. Now, having a battery life of 36 hours, to me, is pretty much the same as having it for a single day, because you're not gonna let it run until like a day and a half, because that will be in the middle of the day. You're probably going to be out, you won't have the chance to charge it, so you would probably charge it pretty much every day anyway. However, there is a few silver linings. Number one is that it comes with actually Oppo's VOOC charging, so you can actually charge from 0 to 100 in about Oppo claims 36 minutes, and I tested it, and yeah, it's about there. Now, not only that, there are a few features that you can tweak to sort of save battery life. One of them is obviously the action to sort of tilt. So when you lift your arm up, it would wake up the screen. Now you can actually switch that off, and so that will save a lot of battery life. So you don't get a lot of accidental screen turning on because you moved your arm. And I realized that this happened to me a lot when I was in bed. I'll be lying down and suddenly the screen would come on. So actually switching that off will probably save you quite a fair bit of battery. So the big question, obviously, should you buy this? Now, to me, I think it's a clear yes. If you're looking for a smartwatch and you're on the side of the square face, and I don't know why you wouldn't, it is an absolute yes. I think right now this is probably one of the best value smartwatches out there, and I don't just mean for Android. Now, I absolutely love this watch. I think right now, it's actually one of the best smartwatches out there, and also one of the best value. Now, this watch, of course, is going to get a very easy Technobabble recommended logo, and I'm going to give it about 4 out of 5 stars. Now, I would have given it a full 5 out of 5 if it had better battery life, but I think 4 out of 5 is still fantastic. Good job, Oppo. I think this is your first smartwatch, so great job, and I can't wait to see what you come up with in the future. Alright, so that about wraps up my review of the Oppo Watch. Now, if you like this video, you know what to do, and I would love it if you would subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to receive notifications on our next video. I'm JP, and I'll see you real soon.